everybody, and welcome to Arizona Cat's Eye. I'm Joey Petrella.
And I'm Nicole Cousins. Arizona Cat's Eye is a student-produced news broadcast from the University of Arizona School of Journalism.
We bring you stories from across the state, along with the University of Arizona and the city of Tucson. Arizona state lawmakers approved a $9.1 billion budget plan for the 2015 to 2016 fiscal year. Lawmakers say the budget is a tough but realistic solution. Arizona is facing a $1.5 billion deficit, and the budget includes a controversial $99 million cut to higher education, leaving many students worried tuition hikes are in the near future. Arizona Cat's Eye reporter Molly Baker has more.
Veronica Coyar, a junior at the University of Arizona, works 2 jobs to pay for her school. One is at the campus frozen yogurt shop.
I definitely need to have my 48 hours a week in order to make sure I pay for my school, also pay for my books and anything that I need, school supplies.
That leaves little time to focus on her goal of getting a dual degree in psychology and criminal justice.
When I get home at 11 o'clock, I just start doing homework all the way till 2 o'clock in the morning, and then sometimes I need to wake up early still so I can finish the rest of it.
Senior Vice President of Student Affairs and Enrollment Management, Melissa Vito, says the UA supports Governor Ducey's decision given the state of the economy, but does hope to avoid raising tuition.
We need to protect the things that are priorities. Research is really important here. The health sciences area is an important piece. And so we're trying to look at how we would protect the things that are most important and be strategic in where we take cuts.
Many others, like former Senator and retired Arizona Board of Regents member Dennis DeConcini, feel the governor's proposal is a direct violation of the Arizona Constitution that says education should be as close to free as possible.
Education is the foundation of this country, and I don't think they are free as possible. It's outrageous that your tuition is over $10,000. Outrageous for a public university.
Working 2 jobs, just trying to get by the minimum and be able to still be a full-time student.
ABOR members have discussed a lawsuit against the legislature for violation of the state constitution, but they do hope that a compromise can be found for a reasonable budget cut to education. Meanwhile, thousands of students are waiting to see how they will be affected. For Arizona Cat's Eye, I'm Molly Baker.
The Arizona Board of Regents is exploring a possible lawsuit against the state legislature if it does not put forward the funds for the university system.
While university tuition may increase for some, state lawmakers are also discussing a bill that could reduce the cost of a college education for out-of-state veterans. Alan Davis has the story.
More than 20,000 times last year, veteran students at the University of Arizona swiped their CAT cards to use the Vet Center. And if House Bill 2091 passes through Arizona's legislature, the center will be seeing more visitors. The bill was written in response to Section 702 of the Veterans Choice Act that was signed by President Obama last August. The section says that the VA will not pay for a veteran's tuition if the price tag is more than what the state charges its own residents. House Bill 2091 allows out-of-state veterans, their spouses and children to go to Arizona universities at in-state costs. The prime sponsor of the bill, Representative Sonny Borelli, said that the bill is not a partisan issue and that it's about helping veterans.
When we served, we took an oath to support the Constitution and to support our brothers, and we didn't take an oath towards a political party. We're kind of apolitical.
In Arizona, it costs in-state students around $11,000 a year, while an out-of-state student pays around $30,000. Although he doesn't know if the bill will affect the university's pocketbook, the director of the Vets Initiative at the UA says that college helps veterans transition back to civilian life.
You're going from one major bureaucracy to another major bureaucracy that couldn't be farther apart. The military tells you when to get up, when to go to work, what to wear, and you come into higher education, and it's more or less welcome to the university. Here are the keys. Good luck. We'll be over here if you need anything.
The bill is passed through Arizona's House and is waiting to receive its final read from the Senate. For Arizona Cat's Eye, I'm Alan Davis.
The parents of James Foley, the first American killed by ISIS, visited Tucson in March. The couple spoke on a panel with a former AP correspondent and a New York Times attorney about the dangers of international journalism.
What is it that people can,
According to the Committee to Protect Journalists, more than 1,000 journalists have been killed around the world on the battlefield, being assassinated, or in other accidents since 1992. In November 2012, James Foley was on freelance assignment for the Global Post when he was kidnapped in Syria. 2 years later, he was beheaded by ISIS militants at age 40. His mother Diane and father John Foley spoke out at a University of Arizona forum with former AP correspondent Terry Anderson and New York Times attorney David McGraw about the U.S. government and its failure to try negotiating with terrorists to bring their loved one back.
Media silence helped two entities. One is the FBI and the other is the captors. The FBI had no pressure to go forward with Jim's situation, and obviously the captors wanted silence for obvious reasons.
You still have to believe that just...
While Anderson was the AP's chief Middle East correspondent, he was held hostage in Beirut from 1985 to 1991. Anderson criticized the U.S. government for giving families false hope while their child was captured by terrorists.
They would tell the families, don't go public, keep quiet, we're doing everything we can, but in fact, it was an excuse to do nothing.
The kit they carry.
The auditorium was filled with UA School of Journalism students and teachers alike. UAJ School professor Mort Rosenblum hosted the event and stressed the importance of providing stronger protections for journalists, especially freelancers.
News organizations who use the services of journalists should be responsible for them.
According to the CPJ, 19 journalists have already been killed in 2015.
The University of Arizona's Eller College of Management lost a longtime professor after she was hit and killed by a car last month. In early February, Professor Sharon Garrison was walking near her home on Speedway Boulevard and Houghton Road when a car hit her. Garrison was a finance professor at the university for 17 years and taught more than 5,000 students.
You know, I think everybody had the same view, that she was just a very strong, spirited woman. She was a great professor, and she was a great role model.
Police say the driver of the vehicle stayed on the scene and is cooperating with the investigation.
An independent school that operates within the Tucson Unified School District is looking to expand its program. The International School of Tucson currently teaches students French, Chinese, and Spanish starting in nursery school. The school wants to expand into a middle school, but last month the proposal to modify the school's lease was rejected. The International School says it is still looking at other properties. When we come back, the homeless demonstration downtown.
Is your morning commute on the road to being more expensive?
Plus the business of brewing beer in Tucson. That and more when Arizona Cat's Eye returns.
I'm Arizona Cat's Eye reporter Nicolina Patton. On today's segment of What's Trending, we bring you Ellen Meets Macy, a 5-year-old girl who hopes to be president one day. She shares her expert knowledge on presidential facts.
Who's this?
John Quincy Adams.
And who was the first lady?
Louisa.
And the vice president was?
John C. Calhoun.
Okay, do you have any fun facts on him?
He swam naked in the Potomac.
Wow, now that's an impressive 5-year-old.
Welcome back to Arizona Cat's Eye. A federal judge has ruled that the city of Tucson is no longer under enforcement restrictions to act against the growing homeless encampment downtown. In December, it had been temporarily ruled that the homeless people could sleep on sidewalks as long as they only had 3 belongings with them. Arizona Cat's Eye reporter Molly Baker has the story.
Just hours after the verdict, eviction notices were posted on all dream pods and tents. 20 de Agosto Park is a little more empty as the homeless have already started to vacate the area.
This is a good cause, but it's over Friday, so it kind of sucks. Now we have nowhere to go again.
For about 4 months, the park was home to more than 75 homeless people living in plywood boxes lined up on the sidewalks of Congress Street downtown. The occupation was against what the movement's leader, John McClain, calls the criminalization of homelessness.
They can't say it's a crime to sleep or it's a crime to go to the bathroom and not make the accommodations available for people to abide by the law.
It didn't take long before the city was cited for health and safety code violations after complaints of public urination and defecation, pets, and drug use. but the protest did make the Tucson community question whether or not the city really does do enough for the homeless. Art Wadland works in the downtown area and says the city does as much as it can.
We could spend $180 million and it wouldn't matter. We're still going to have homelessness. You can't cure homelessness. You can't be all things to all people. It's impossible.
The city of Tucson spends about $15 million every year to provide services for the homeless. But McLean says a shelter really doesn't compare to a pod where people can sleep whenever they want and store their belongings 24 hours a day.
Our solution is if they had a campground in every ward of the city with a bathroom, then would it be a crime to be homeless? And no matter what allegations are thrown at me, I'm going to complete my mission. And when my mission is completed, they won't have to worry about me anymore.
But McLean's mission was in question after police arrested him on drug charges. He was released on the agreement he would not return to Vente de Agosto Park. It was his 48th arrest. The homeless have since left the park, and it's unclear what will happen to the movement and these people. For Arizona Cat's Eye, I'm Molly Baker.
It is expected that the homeless encampment will move somewhere else, though at this point it is unclear where.
A controversial bill is making its way through the Arizona legislature. Some state lawmakers want to ban the use of electronic benefit transfer cards at fast food restaurants. Arizona Cat's Eye reporter Kelsey Thorid is in the studio to give us more details.
Right now, the homeless, the disabled, and the elderly can use their EBT cards at fast food restaurants, but that's probably about to change. The three groups of people may face the same regulations as other card holders.
David and his wife are homeless. They live in a tent downtown and use an electronic benefit transfer card to buy food, some of which is fast food.
I use them about once or twice a month, but I think it's a beneficial program, so people that ain't so fortunate to cook at home can eat someplace besides junk food.
For David and the thousands just like him, fast food restaurants like the one behind me may no longer be an option.
3 Republican state representatives have sponsored House Bill 2051, which proposes to ban EBT card use at any fast food or quick service restaurant.
I just really cringe at putting something like this in place that would hurt people from just getting along and being able to eat a meal any day of the week.
Supporters of the proposal argue there are healthier and cheaper options available. Taxpayers don't want to pay for junk food. The Community Food Bank of Southern Arizona is another option, but employees here say not many cardholders actually use their EBT cards on fast food.
I think it's a lot of effort towards curbing something that, to me, doesn't appear to be a huge problem.
Now, if the bill passes, EBT cards will still be accepted at all participating stores. For Arizona Cat's Eye, I'm Kelsey Thorid.
Gas prices may seem low, but according to a new Lundberg survey, there has been a double-digit increase nationwide in the last 2 weeks, the first of many hikes expected after a 9-month decline. As it turns out, drivers in Arizona are paying $1 less than they were at this time a year ago. And as prices across the state keep climbing, Tucson continues to stay low because it offers a lower grade of gasoline, and drivers aren't complaining.
I don't know. I think people are still thankful to not have it around $4.50 a gallon.
Experts say gas prices will rise to nearly $3 a gallon by May.
Breweries are popping up all over Tucson, despite a state regulation that restricts their growth. A current law says breweries can only produce up to 40,000 barrels of beer a year while operating a restaurant or pub. The Arizona Craft Brewers Guild and the Beer and Wine Distributors Association wants lawmakers to lift the limit. Local brewers worry they might have to cut jobs if the cap stays the same.
And we're trying to essentially not have to penalize businesses that are really successful in Arizona.
What's the latest buzz around honey and Tucson sports when Arizona Cat's Eye returns?
Back with more of What's Trending, I'm Arizona Cat's Eye reporter Caitlin Galante. Today we bring you the adorable dog named Fritz, who can't seem to catch a break. And by break, I mean food. Well, at least he's determined.
A University of Arizona program is making sure olive trees on campus don't go to waste. More than 97 olive trees stretch across the U of A campus, and every year a majority of those olives end up rotting on the ground. In 2013, Linking Edible Arizona Forests, known as LEAF, started using those olives for olive oil. Queen Creek Olive Mill helped with the project, and in just 3 days, more than 100 bottles of olive oil were sold at the U of A bookstore. Olives will be collected again in early November, and the olive oil will hit the shelves in December.
Honey isn't just for tea or toast. Some people are using it to help treat allergies, but that's up for debate. Nicolina Patton has the buzz.
This is Eleni Konstantopoulos. She has been suffering from allergies her entire life. Her move to Tucson made them even worse.
I eat a lot of honey, and people say that that helps, but I haven't noticed as much differences with holistic treatments as with the allergen shots.
So does honey really do the trick? Entomologist Dr. Justin Schmidt says it can for moderate cases. The key, he says, is eating local honey, which builds the body's resistance to local allergens.
I go through about 5 gallons of honey a year. You want to get non-pasteurized, non-filtered. In other words, organic, as close to fresh out of the hive as possible.
Skeptics of this treatment say the variety of plant pollen in honey is not a targeted treatment. Retired allergy specialist Dr. Uwe Montai at Alvernon Allergy and Asthma says he has some concerns.
Honey has not been shown to help. Antigen that you ingest gets into the acid of the stomach is destroyed. That's why we're injecting it, so that it bypasses this.
For extreme allergy sufferers, Dr. Montai suggests allergy desensitization, a uniquely formulated shot given for 3 to 4 years. Depending on insurance coverage, those allergy shots can be pricey. One of the major benefits of using local honey and pollen from flowers like these is the low cost.
Well, my insurance covers a lot of it, so out of pocket it's only about $20 a shot, but I'm sure it's pretty expensive otherwise.
So, is honey worth the try?
It's just fun and convenient and cheap to do it this way, and if it doesn't work, well, nothing lost. You can always do the other option.
For Arizona Cat's Eye, I'm Nicolina Patton.
The drug Adderall is for people with various attention deficit disorders, but some students at the University of Arizona are using it for other purposes. The so-called wonder drug is used when caffeine isn't enough. But doctors say using Adderall without being prescribed, the medication can have life-threatening effects, like seizures, heart problems, or even addiction. Tabitha Barzar is a pharmacist at the CVS near campus. She says the demand for Adderall outweighs their supply.
We see a lot of prescriptions for Adderall, and the way we order the medication is through a distributor. And actually each month we are restricted a certain amount that we can take, and like for this month example, we're already maxed out.
Doctors say the only way to know if you really need to take Adderall is to get tested.
Up next, we're talking sports. We'll be right back.
For more of what's trending, I'm Nicolina Patton. An Australian radio station funded a couple's dream wedding. Their first dance is one they'll never forget when Ed Sheeran took the stage.
Hello. Happy wedding day.
Thank you very much.
Shall we?
Yeah.
When your legs don't work like they used to before.
A personal performance by Ed Sheeran. Now that is a great wedding. Now back to you at the studio.
Welcome back. A U of A student athlete is working her way to the 2016 Olympics.
Angeline Carbajal introduces us to a young woman with an inspirational story.
Amy Neighbor is not your traditional student. She's 24 years old and enrolled till she could play on the rugby team. And what a journey it's been. Welcome to the world of U of A rugby, home to Amy Neighbor. Neighbor was a cheerleader for 11 years before she started playing rugby.
Once I got to college, I knew I wasn't going to be a cheerleader for any college side because girls have to be flyers, and I was a base. I always was the one lifting girls. And so I was pretty bummed when I got to college, to be honest. Not having a sport, not being part of a team really kind of chewed me up inside.
Neighbor was invited to play in a national tournament in Pittsburgh, but the game was held on a day her father was going to have surgery to remove cancer.
I just remember being in a hotel room in Philly, and my dad, like, just talking to him, and like right before he was going to surgery, and I was like, I should be with him.
But her father wanted her to follow her dreams.
Her not taking advantage of an opportunity that might come once in a lifetime to be with me is as important as that would be to me. It's more important for me that she fulfill her dreams and live her life like I lived mine.
I was like, I gotta make the team. I gotta make it. Like, I'm missing this great moment for my father that I need to make the team. So I made it, and he was there in California when I scored my first try for America.
Neighbor's journey doesn't end there. She is training for the 2016 Olympics in Rio de Janeiro. For Arizona Cat's Eye, I'm Angeline Carvajal.
The 16th annual 24 Hours in the Old Pueblo mountain bike race brought nearly 2,000 people to southern Arizona. Mountain bikers from across the globe competed on a trail north of Tucson. It's the town camaraderie, the breathtaking view of the Santa Catalina Mountains, and the mutual love for mountain biking that has this event selling out every year.
It's an amazing look into a cool little niche community, basically, you know? This event is about being part of something with others that sort of brings everybody together.
From cyclists to soccer, this story is about to catch you off guard. The Cactus Pricks, yes, I said the Cactus Pricks, that's their name. And believe it or not, it's not their name that draws attention, it's their behavior. This spirited bunch can't go unnoticed at FC Tucson Soccer Games, the competitive semi-professional soccer league. They do everything from bang on drums to scream their hearts out.
They're just chanting, they don't really care, they're here to support us, and we really like it, we get excited, we get a second breath.
If you want to catch the team and the Pricks in action, you can watch them at Kino Sports Complex this summer.
La Fiesta de los Vaqueros returned to the city of Tucson last month. The 90th annual Tucson Rodeo attracts thousands of locals and visitors from around the world. The rodeo is estimated to bring in nearly $15 million in revenue from contestants and visitors staying in the hotels, eating in restaurants, and purchasing merchandise. The Tucson Rodeo continues to be a successful tradition for the community and always brings a high economic impact. For all these stories and more, visit us on Facebook and Twitter.
Thanks for watching Arizona Cat's Eye. We'll see you next time.